Shutting the Narcissist Down. Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor. I dare say that there are many of you who want to understand how that can be done, that you'd love nothing more than to shut the narcissist down. I have provided thousands of videos, hundreds of blog articles, explaining so many different facets about narcissism and psychopathy. This is done as part of the creation of my legacy. It enables you to understand the way that my kind think, function, operate. It provides you with understanding about yourselves. It provides you with solutions. My work is unrivaled in terms of its depth and level of understanding and insight that is provided. To put it bluntly, there's a lot of rubbish information out there. Narcissism has certainly become in vogue over the last sort of 5 or so years, particularly with the prevalence of so-called experts appearing on platforms such as TikTok. Individuals that have basically seen the bandwagon that is narcissism, and they just simply regurgitate existing material, providing you with nothing new, providing you with existing myths, existing incorrect information. Unaware mid-range narcissists who revel in the platform of having a YouTube channel or a Facebook page or a TikTok account so that they can bang on about how they view narcissists, not realizing that they're one themselves, again furnishing you with misinformation. There are many that claim that they are narcissists when in actual fact they're not. They're just tacking on to something which has become a rather fashionable topic. Or there are individuals that believe that they're aware narcissists when the provision of the information that they give demonstrates that they're actually unaware narcissists. They think that they're more aware than they actually are. Key example of that are the ones that talk about the fact that I'm healed, I'm cured, I've improved my ways. No actual narcissist can be healed or cured and doesn't improve their ways other than becoming, in some instances, more effective with regard to their application of their narcissism. Any supposed narcissist that tells you that they've been cured or healed or that they have managed to curb their narcissism in a particular way is either lying or wasn't a narcissist to begin with. There are plenty of individuals that provide decent information. It may not be the whole picture, but they provide you with solid information about narcissism. There are those that approach it more in terms of how you can heal yourself, how you can protect yourself, and there are some good providers of information. But there are a lot of Johnny and Janie come-latelys who basically take existing material, regurgitate it, provide you with no new insight, come up with certain observations which are wholly inaccurate, and it's misleading, time-consuming, time-wasting, and in some instances actually dangerous. Throughout the creation of my work, the blog entries and videos, from time to time, I have highlighted the erroneous information that has been shared in an attempt to ensure that you receive the accurate information. Why? The provision of inaccurate information about my kind threatens my need for control. I find it offensive, and therefore I want people to ignore it. I want it to be stamped out. I want you to ensure that you're getting your information from appropriate sources instead, so that you learn properly and naturally. I would advocate my own material for the purposes of the extension of my legacy, which is a residual benefit. I don't hide that I'm in this for myself, but you also benefit from it, thus it's a win-win. And in this instance, I have identified an article that attempts to tell you how you can shut the narcissist down, and in actual fact, it just provides you with misinformation. And I'm going to explain why, so that you understand, and then I will explain to you the most effective way of shutting the narcissist down. This article provides a variety of phrases that should be utilized, and it advocates that showing compassion is the best way to avoid an explosive conversation, and tells you how you might look to do that. Now, first of all, it makes the fundamental mistake of telling you, in effect, to continue to engage with a narcissist. Why is that a problem? Here's why. 1. You are giving the narcissist fuel, which is what the narcissist wants. You're talking to the narcissist, so you're giving the narcissist fuel. You're looking at the narcissist, which gives the narcissist fuel. Your body language, your facial expression, the look in your eyes, the words you're using, the tone, it all gives the narcissist fuel. You're giving the narcissist what he or she wants. You're not shutting them down. You will, as I'm going to demonstrate, actually be threatening the narcissist's need for control rather than shutting them down, which will only lead to you being painted black or continuing to be seen as painted black and resulting in the narcissist needing to assert control over you. Given the fact that you are in these scenarios talking to the narcissist, you are either on the telephone or more likely physically proximate to them, which means the narcissist is going to deal with you directly, which means that you are going to be subjected to more manipulative behavior, which you will find frustrating and upsetting. Furthermore, if you're an empathic individual, this continued interaction will increase your emotional thinking, meaning you're going to make bad decisions, that you're going to continue to feel upset, frightened, anxious, hurt, angry, whatever it might be, because your continued emotional thinking charges the battery of feeling. Thus, you're giving fuel. You'll suffer an adverse consequence. You'll increase your emotional thinking. Therefore, attempting to shut the narcissist down in the way that this article describes already has 3 major downsides for you. Add to the 4th, what's suggested is wholly ineffective. Accordingly, you are not only being furnished with misinformation, you're being furnished with information which is going to make your life more difficult. The first suggestion is to say to the narcissist, I understand why you feel that way. Rather than the narcissist think, oh, I'm being empathized with, the narcissist, where that's taking place in the context of a confrontation between narcissist and victim, will simply see that as patronizing. Because you're painted black, whatever you say is going to be viewed through the lens of being painted black, and therefore the narcissist will interpret your statement not as one of being trying to be helpful, but one where you're actually patronizing the narcissist. You can't possibly understand me. You don't know me at all, is the likely response, and you'll be rejected. What do you know about me? You claim to know everything about me. That's just controlling. Those are the type of responses you're likely to be met with if you try to shut down the narcissist in this way. The second one is to suggest a more neutral statement of, you may be right. But the problem with this is, by saying you may be, you're suggesting that the narcissist might not be right. And of course, we all know that the narcissist, at least in their world, is always right. Accordingly, if you turn around and say to a narcissist, you may be right, all you're going to do is issue challenge fuel. You're going to threaten the narcissist's need for control, with the narcissist saying, what do you mean I may be right? Of course I'm right. And you'll just wind up the narcissist all the more. It's suggested that this is a lack of reaction, but it's not. It is a reaction. You're responding to the narcissist by saying something. Thus, as I mentioned earlier, you're providing fuel, albeit it's challenge fuel. So to suggest that this is a non-committal action that will appease a narcissist is wholly incorrect. The third suggestion is to say to the narcissist to shut them down, I think we got off track somehow. Now, the idea here is to suggest that you're not blaming the narcissist, but you are, because you're not saying, I got off track somehow. You're saying, we did. So you are apportioning culpability to the narcissist, which means you're suggesting the narcissist is wrong, which is a threat to control. And accordingly, that becomes problematic. The narcissist will view you as blaming them, and therefore their instinctive response, because most likely they will be an unaware narcissist, will be to react to that threat to control by attacking you. Accordingly, it isn't going to result in a calm response. It's just going to irritate and provoke the narcissist. The fourth suggestion for shutting the narcissist down is to say, let's discuss this later. That isn't going to work. The narcissist wants the matter to be dealt with now, because that's all that matters to the narcissist. Not yesterday, not tomorrow, not later, now. And now. And now. The fact is, if you say, let's discuss this later, or I don't feel comfortable talking about this right now, or let's not have this discussion in front of everyone, what are you doing? You're telling the narcissist that now is not the time to speak. You are, in effect, invalidating that narcissist, which amounts to a threat to control. The narcissist doesn't care about your level of comfort. It's their level of comfort that matters. The narcissist wants to discuss this now. By you saying, let's discuss this later, you are being seen to assert control over the narcissist by dictating the terms on which the conversation can take place. All you're going to do is threaten the narcissist's need for control. A fifth suggestion is to say to the narcissist, does that seem reasonable to you? Well, the answer you're going to get is, no, I do not see it as reasonable. The reason for that is that invariably the narcissist's response is unreasonable, as viewed by you, because of that need for control. And the extension of that is your behaviour, even though other people and yourself may deem it as reasonable, is seen through the lens of the need for control and will be seen as unreasonable. So if you are suggesting that your behaviour is reasonable and that you are the one that therefore is behaving correctly, all you're going to do is rile the narcissist, because the narcissist will see this as you taking the moral high ground. And in the circumstances that by suggesting, does that seem reasonable? In the circumstances, you're just going to threaten the narcissist control need once again. The sixth suggestion is to say, are you asking me or telling me? Oh dear. This suggests, make it clear that you don't like to be bossed around. Well, unfortunately, you are there to be bossed around by the narcissist, because that's part of the assertion of control, the issuing of instructions and orders to you to ensure that you do what the narcissist requires. Therefore, if you say, are you asking me or telling me, you're just going to infuriate the narcissist, because you're not getting on with what the narcissist needs. You're being seen to prevaricate. You might think, well, the narcissist will want to be seen as reasonable, so they'll say, I'm asking you. But it doesn't matter, because whether it's asking or telling, the outcome, so far as the narcissist is concerned, is the same. Get on with it. Do as you're told. And coming out with comments such as, are you asking me or telling me, or please don't order me around like that, or the other suggestion that's made in this article, could you rephrase that, please, is only going to rile the narcissist, because you're not doing what is required of you. And viewed as an inanimate object that is there to function at the request and requirements of the narcissist, you're getting in the way, and you're just going to result in a threat to control. The next suggestion to shut the narcissist down is, do I have any say in this? Well, the answer to that is, no, you don't. You are expected to go along with what the narcissist requires. Another suggestion is, are you thinking about both of us or just yourself? That will be viewed as critical by the narcissist, because you're suggesting the narcissist is being self-serving. The fact is that if you say, do I have any say in this, you are inferring that the narcissist is being domineering, that they are the one that is ruling the roost. You are probably correct about that. But the problem that you have is that any suggestion that the narcissist is dominating the conversation, is being domineering, will offend their need for control. So suggesting that you're not being given a say is only going to cause a problem from the perspective of the narcissist. The eighth suggestion to shut the narcissist down is to say, when you criticize me, it makes me feel upset. You're more than likely going to be met with, good. Another suggestion in this line is, please don't yell at me in public, it makes me feel belittled, or I feel hurt that you dismiss me like that. The fact is, you're criticizing the narcissist. You're saying, you criticize me, you yell at me, you're belittling me, you're hurting me, you're dismissing me. All of those criticisms threaten the narcissist's need for control and will either result in a denial, the first line of the twin lines of the narcissistic defense, or result in the narcissist saying, yes, I'm doing that because, and they will then come out with a reason to justify that behavior towards you. It will not shut the narcissist down. It'll just make things worse. The 9th suggestion to shut a narcissist down is, you can't speak to me that way. Oh dear. Further suggestions along this lines are, what makes you think it's okay to treat me like this? If you want me to be nice to you, you have to be nice to me too. Telling the narcissist you can't is a recipe for disaster. Because we can. Because we can. We are the doers. You are the done too. To suggest that the narcissist can't speak to somebody in a particular way is an immediate recipe for the ignition of fury. Suggesting that the narcissist thinks it's okay to treat the person like this, again, is going to threaten control. Why? Because the narcissist is allowed to treat you whatever way they see fit. Furthermore, suggesting that there has to be reciprocity in the relationship is nonsense. We take, you give. That's the way that it is. And any suggestion that the narcissist has to be beholden to you, i.e., if you want me to be nice to you, you have to be nice to me, shackles the narcissist's need for control. You're just going to be met with an ignition of fury. Item 10. In order to shut the narcissist down, it's suggested, if you keep this up, I'm leaving. Or, I won't listen to you when you yell at me, let's talk when you can be respectful. Or, if you raise your voice at me one more time, I'm ending this relationship. Talk about throwing fuel on the fire. This response is a threat to the narcissist and thus is a threat to control. By suggesting that 1, the narcissist is wrong, and 2, the sanction will be that you're going to leave or end the relationship, amounts to a massive threat to the narcissist's control, particularly if you are the intimate partner primary source. This would be the most idiotic response to give if you think that it's going to shut the narcissist down. It's not. It's going to make the narcissist erupt. The final suggestion is to basically say nothing, that this will stop the narcissist in their tracks. There are 2 problems with this. The first is that whilst you might not be saying anything, you may well be responding with your facial expressions, the look in your eyes, your body language, so you're still providing fuel, i.e. the attempt to grey rock fails. But moreover, if you're silent when the narcissist is speaking to you, you're deemed to be ignoring the narcissist, which wounds the narcissist, which, as you know, amounts to a threat to control. So just standing there and saying nothing isn't going to shut the narcissist down, it's going to be provocative. Accordingly, 11 instances that are provided in this article, which is headlined, What to Say to a Narcissist to Shut Them Down, and each and every single one is not only incorrect, but it's going to result in you threatening the narcissist's need for control, you providing fuel to the narcissist lashing out at you by way of giving you an adverse consequence, and you increasing your emotional thinking because you're continuing to interact with the narcissist on the basis that you are an empath, which means you have emotional thinking. There's nothing right about this article. It gets it hopelessly wrong. And this is just one of many examples of well-intentioned individuals pumping out misinformation, which is only going to result in you making matters worse if you try and deploy it with a narcissist. So how do you shut a narcissist down? You remove yourself from the narcissist and impose no contact. That is the only way, because then the narcissist can't interact with you any longer. Yes, if you walk away from a narcissist, that will ignite the narcissist's fury, but if you're not around to witness the fury, you shut them down. It has no impact upon you. If you put the phone down on a narcissist, yes, that will wound and ignite their fury, but you don't answer the phone when they attempt to hoover you by ringing back. You have in effect shut them down, because you're no longer being exposed to their behaviour. By imposing a total no-contact regime, you shut the narcissist down, because they can't abuse you, because they can't talk to you, message you, spend time with you. You're not giving the narcissist any fuel, which is more likely to force the narcissist to give up hoovering you and pursue someone else, thus shutting down their interaction with you. You'll also have the additional benefit of reducing your emotional thinking. There is not a phrase, or a comment that you can utilize to shut the narcissist down for the reasons that I've advanced. You don't seek to control the narcissist. You seek to control you through the imposition and maintenance of a no-contact regime, and that is what shuts the narcissist down. I'm H.G. Tudor. If you want to understand more about the ways that you can put in place that no-contact regime, go to the Knowledge Vault. There's a wealth of material in there which will help you, or you can arrange an audio consultation with me so that you can have a bespoke discussion with the expert so that I can provide you with the exact information that thousands of others have received that is right for your circumstances so that you shut that narcissist down and achieve the freedom that you require. Thank you for listening.